More and more research conducted on hearing loss reveals greater implications for older adults than just hearing trouble. Hearing loss is now being linked to other potentially serious health complications, including falls, depression, and cognitive decline. With me now is Erin Stouter, the Executive Director of HASA, to share what you need to know to ensure healthy hearing and healthy living for the future. Welcome, Erin.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Happy to have you here. So talk to us about HASA.
So HASA is a group that seeks to connect people to their worlds. So we have a variety of intervention, direct treatment, and advocacy programs. And one of our mainstay programs and service offerings is related to making sure individuals in our community have access to a healthy hearing environment.
And so what are the implications of hearing loss besides just not being able to hear?
Yeah, it's a really big deal that I think we're on a tipping point of this becoming a public health crisis, especially with our aging population. So here's a fact that I find completely staggering. 9 million adults over the age of 65 have some sort of hearing loss. Only 20% of those individuals have any sort of hearing device to help them hear better. Really? And many of them go unaided and undiagnosed with having that hearing loss, and that could have major health implications for the rest of their life.
Why do you think that is? Do you think that people are reluctant to admit that they have a hearing problem? Because you hear that sometimes, like, I hear fine. Or is it just that they're not aware of it or don't know where to get treatment?
I think it's a combination of both of those things. So there is still a significant amount of stigma associated with having hearing loss. And we at HASA do everything we can to eliminate that stigma. And I think that that stigma will start to go away as wearable technology becomes more acceptable in our communities. So these days, hearing devices look just like earbuds that you can buy from a manufacturer to listen to music or for entertainment purposes. So we're really hoping that that stigma is alleviated as the devices get smaller and more high tech. There are really amazing things going on related to hearing aid technology.
The design is very streamlined now.
They are really, it's difficult to tell sometimes if somebody's hearing them or using hearing aids, but at the same time, we at HASA are advocating for people to talk about it more, to talk about it when they're out at restaurants, to talk about it with their caregivers, with their friends, to make sure that
break down the stigma.
To break down the stigma and ask for help when you need it. It's really hard for grown-ups to ask for help.
Because it has other implications. There's falls, there's cognitive issues as well, right?
It's insane in my mind how expansive the hearing loss impacts can be. So with hearing loss only slightly outside of normal range, just a 5-point difference outside of normal range, you are at greater risk for having falls, which obviously are going to have some physical implications if you break a hip, break an elbow. In addition, the association between hearing loss and dementia, and hearing loss and Alzheimer's, and hearing loss and diabetes and cardiac health, the research is really starting to say that if we keep the brain healthy and stimulated by making sure that the hearing system is working properly, that is a preventative measure to keep your quality of life strong.
So what should we be on the lookout for when we're thinking about our older loved ones when it comes to their hearing? If we notice something, what should we say or what should we look for?
I think the most important thing to recognize is that individuals might be in denial that they're going through this process, and to talk about it sooner rather than later. And really start to ask questions if your loved one or the person that you're caring for is asking for you to repeat things often. If you're finding the television or the radio up very loud, if you are seeing that your loved one is self-selecting out of social events, like going to restaurants where it might be difficult for them to follow a conversation, start talking to them about their hearing acuity. Go see an audiologist to get their hearing tested and get the support they need.
And they can reach out to you as well, because we just put that information on our screen. Thank you so much for being here, Erin. Really important information. And we'll be right back with more Midday Maryland right after this. Stay tuned.